I spent years involved in everything in my company, from sales to marketing to operations to dispatch, and every problem I got involved with, every issue came across my desk. I thought being busy was being productive, but I was very wrong. Once I built my team and had a world-class team behind me, it allowed me to step back, but then I had a new problem. What was I supposed to do then? My job isn't to do everybody else's job, it's to make sure the right people are in the right seats, giving them responsibilities so they can excel and do their job without being micromanaged. I'm there for the bigger decisions rather than the smaller ones, and I now don't measure my day by how many jobs I've got ticked off a list and how productive I am. Now I've changed roles. I'm no longer working as an operator or in the business, I'm working on the business. And my mindset must change dramatically from how to operate the business and managing people to how can I make this business grow and expand. And some of the things I'm thinking about is, where are we wasting time and money and efficiency? How can we grow the business? How can we get better cash flow? Where can we invest money? What improvements can we make? How can we improve customer service? What would make the business run easier and smoother? Will this business run without me? If I was to jump on a plane tomorrow and just take a year out and not have anything to do with the business, it needs to be able to run completely on its own without me. If I was ever to think about selling it, the new buyers would be looking at things like this. Is the owner of the business the manager, or can he step away? And that is a big question if you're ever to sell it. Even if you're not thinking about selling it, 10, 15, 20 years, you might change your mind. Once you step out of the business and you start working on the business, you need a mindset shift. And it's a completely different way of thinking. The entrepreneur working on the business should always be looking for growth, new products, new services, new sales channels, marketing, customer relations, partnerships, acquisitions of new businesses. And you should always be asking yourself, where does the next 100k of turnover come from, and what do we spend the profits on? Some other roles to think about would be developing your leaders so they can lead, they can develop their team, they can manage and run the company without you. You'll be looking at KPIs and numbers and measuring their productivity without micromanaging them. And once you are working on the business instead of in the business, is boundaries you need to set in place, because your team will try and pull you back in as much as they possibly can. If you're walking through the yard or walking through your warehouse, people tend to come to you with their small problems and it kind of sucks you back in. You feel like you have to fix things and you don't. You can coach them, you can send them to the right person to help them, but you need to remember not to get sucked back in, and it's quite easily done. Trust me, I've almost done it quite a few times. So you need to protect certain things and have boundaries in place. So put boundaries around your time, put boundaries around your phone and limitations when you're answering it, to who you're answering it to, and don't become this crazy entrepreneur that is always on WhatsApp, always on his phone. Restrict access. Don't make it easy for everyone to get hold of you every second of the day, otherwise those problems will keep coming over your lap. You need to trust and give those responsibilities onto your team. You need to give those responsibilities onto your team and trust that they do them. And if they do have a problem, coach them through and how to fix that problem. The second boundary you need to put in place is for your headspace. Making sure you're not bogged down with every decision, everything's coming over your lap, every message, every email. Protect your headspace and your time. And then once you've done this and you feel bored and you've got nothing to do and you feel like you need that productivity because you've passed on everything else to everyone, you will have more time on your hands, but you need to spend that time wisely. So when you have more spare time, you need to spend more time thinking. Go for walks. When you go for a walk in nature, these ideas just pop into your head. Jot them down, revisit them another time when you're sat at your desk, but you'll have loads of ideas, so many ideas that you can't get through them quick enough. You also need to think about learning. reading books, listening to podcasts, audio books, courses, listening to entrepreneurs, getting around other entrepreneurs, like-minded entrepreneurs. So you need to get around other entrepreneurs because you're the average of the 5 you spend most time with. So learn from those, pick up on their mistakes, tell stories with each other, and keep learning. Avoid that temptation to jump back in the business when you're bored. Just follow these ideas that pop into your head and run with them. Your team will be better for it, your business will be better for it, there won't be any bottlenecks, and you'll have so many new ideas to grow your company, it'll be overwhelming. I'm still figuring this out, and somebody once told me you need to think like a business owner, entrepreneur, and your time is worth £1,000 an hour. Would you pay someone £1,000 an hour to sweep your warehouse, to answer the phones? Would you pay somebody £1,000 an hour to dismantle a vehicle or clean your car or answer your emails? You probably wouldn't, because £1,000 an hour is a lot of money, but you should be on £1,000 an hour, or at least think that way. So I'm still figuring this out myself, and I still catch myself stepping back in and taking other responsibilities on, and I've really got to protect my headspace, and it's very important to me because I've been getting so bogged down with everybody else's stresses, their pressures, and not spending that time at home with the family, being present. I'm always on a different planet when I'm with them. So there's a few things I've done, like I've turned a certain amount of apps off on my phone when I walk through the door. I switch my phone and my data off so nobody can ring me, and I pretty much put my phone down. Before I enter the house, I will spend probably 10-15 minutes journaling and going through the day so I can leave it behind me. So as soon as I walk through the day, that's it. Everything is out of my mind, out of my head, and I'm looking to spend that quality time with my family. And that is very important, because there's no point being the richest guy with no family. And what is the point in doing this if your family don't want to spend the time with you? So there's things like this you've got to think about, and I know many entrepreneurs are doing it to give their family a better life. So create those boundaries, create that headspace, create that time, and make sure you stick to it. I hope you like this video. Let me know if you want to see any other videos or any other topics around entrepreneurs and business.